Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wanted to get your hands on authentic Japanese Pokemon cards, then this video is for you. Today, guys, I'm going to show you exactly how to get Japanese cards, how to import them safely, and also some of the best tips and strategies so you don't waste your money. Let's get into it. Throughout the video, we're going to be opening this package that just came in from Japan. Got a lot of cards, and I'm going to be talking about exactly how I buy them and how you could buy them too if you are looking to grow your Pokemon business. Let's see what we have here. So before we begin talking about how to get one, let me discuss why you should even consider getting Japanese cards. Well, there's a few reasons. First, Japanese cards often release earlier than the English versions. So that's one of the biggest advantages is always the English releases for any set usually comes a month or 2 months after. Also, many people know this who already have exposure to Japanese cards, but the print quality is just top notch. They're cleaner, the foiling's better, the overall hollow foil pattern, they're just much better cards, and they're also made of better quality. And finally, they're usually cheaper. Even with the shipping, the tariffs, all the import fees, the duties, everything like that, Japanese cards still tend to be cheaper than English. And, you know, let's be honest, many of these cards look cooler because they're exclusive. Here we have a huge mail day. I actually had another box come in as well. Check the link below. I will link the first video. Definitely recommend checking them out. But yeah, let's talk about what are some of the best places to buy Japanese cards. So, you know, there's a ton of different marketplaces like Mercari Japan, Yahoo, auction sites. Those are all great. One of my first recommendations is start probably at a secondary marketplace. The prices are a little bit higher, but it is a little bit more of a streamlined process. So look for eBay or either local sellers. Me personally, I work with an actual seller and have a good relationship with him. The prices are definitely a little bit higher, but I would say I'm a little bit more protected. And also it's a little bit more streamlined of a process. I would say I'm okay with paying a little more on these Japanese cards just for the convenience. For example, if you're buying from a ton of different sellers and you're using like a little middleman or like a proxy service, basically how those work is you send it to them, you pay them a fee, and then they ship you all the cards. With working with an actual seller in Japan, it's a little bit better because they actually will get all the cards in. They'll package it up in a box like this. They'll nicely categorize it, everything, which makes it really easy for me to then go back in, see exactly how much I paid for each card, and it's pretty straightforward. Some of my top tips to saving money and avoiding mistakes is combining orders. So that is why I like working with an actual seller like this, because he's able to take all of my purchases, throw it into one box and ship it instead of receiving a ton of different shipments. Starting off with a really beautiful Dark Charizard. Take a look at that. That is sick. Another thing is also, you know, being mindful of shipping fees. It's pretty expensive sending packages out, especially if you want them to be arriving quickly. So that is why we try to throw as many individual singles in one package as well. You need to be aware of customs. You know, depending on your country, you might have to pay an import tax or custom fees. So you need to budget that in, and that definitely gets priced into the cards. Another big thing is like watching out for fakes. When I'm working with an actual seller, he basically gets a first glance at the cards, and many times he can detect fakes if people ever ship them out. Here's a really nice Pokemon Center. Let's take a look at that. Kyoto. This is actually a card I don't get in that frequently. It's getting harder and harder to find. The condition on this one is not perfect, but even cards like this, you know, you could see that it does have visible flaws. It's still such a rare piece. It's an old one. This one right here got released back in 2016. It is a Black Star promo. It's hard to find mint copies. So even if they do have errors, or even if they do have some kind of wear and tear, these are still cards that I am continually to buy. And, you know, a quick tip, if you're wondering what to buy, you could really buy any trading card game. We over here at PokeKingShop only specialize in Pokemon. So if you're interested in Pokemon, that is pretty much all I'm buying. But hopefully that gives a few helpful tips on like what to look out for, or just gives a kind of general overview what it's like buying cards from Japan. Here we have another Dark Charizard. Beautiful card. Try to stock this card pretty frequently. It's a fan favorite in 1998 right here. A lot of people like buying the vintage Charizards. We've been trying to do a mix of both modern and vintage. Some days modern sells better for us. Other days people like to return to the classics. So it just depends what type of customer we have coming in. Sometimes some of my clients, they request cards. They're like, hey, I'm really looking for this card. Can you get it in? And then we will buy them. But yeah, guys, if you're finding this video helpful so far, please, please, please make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe, definitely, for more card collecting tips. And, drop a comment below. Let me know if you've ever bought cards from Japan, or if you're looking to grow your business, or maybe if you're just watching, curious what the process is like. Here we have another Pokemon Center stamped Pikachu. We've been buying way more of these Japanese exclusives. Got a nice near mint copy right here. And then we check the cards, make sure they're all good to go, and then we individually sell them out, usually on our live streams. Here we have a really nice card. I'm excited to open this. Check this out. Here we have, this is a beautiful example of why Japanese cards are just so much better. This is a black and white Legendary Treasures Radiant Collection. If you compare an English one, I'll see if I could add a picture of English Pikachu, this same kind, relative to the Japanese one. I mean, the Japanese one just absolutely blows the English one out of the water. The sparkle, the first edition stamp, everything about this card is just 10 times nicer in Japanese than it is in English. A little bit of wear on the back, but still not too bad. Definitely a grail. Super happy to have that card here in the collection. A lot of Pikachus I'm seeing. We also have some bulk cards. We got some bulk cards. We'll get into those. Yeah, let's get into those now. We'll do a little break from the individual ones. Here we have a huge bulk lot. Oh, wait, hang on. I think this is double taped. You know what? We're going to save that for the end then, because there's a lot of cards. Here we go. Another Pokemon Center, the Sailor Pikachu. This card is incredible. Look at that. So these cards right here frequently get requested by some of our clients to just carry them. So we try to always have them stocked. They've been selling fast now because a lot of people are realizing that you cannot buy these cards in English. They're getting harder and harder to find. A lot of people are now literally flying out to Japan, buying these cards from card shops, things like that. I try targeting and buying more from individual sellers, because card shops they have to charge higher prices because they have way more overhead expenses. Even us with an office right now, I have extra things I need to pay for that a normal online only store doesn't have to. So card stores will always be more expensive. That's not to say that you shouldn't be buying from card stores, but sometimes if you're really shopping for deals, it is better just buying from individual online only sellers. They will be able to give you more competitive prices. Here we have a mint condition tag team Reshiram Zekrom. The foil on this card just absolutely pops like crazy. What a beauty. Super happy to have this gem in the collection. And guys, many times I get mail days in like this. I don't usually post videos about it. I just kind of open it and then get to selling of the cards. But if you are enjoying these types of videos, leave a like, leave me a comment. Let me know if you want to see more videos. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments as well. I'm not going to be able to cover everything in the video, but I will always take a moment to look back, see what you guys need help with. And yeah, if you want to see more types of content, just let me know. Another Dark Charizard. I think we've had like 3 or 4 of these so far. A lot of Dark Charizards, buying them up. But it's a good one. It's a good one. It is literally the chase card. Still pretty affordable. Able to get these cards for like 100, 150. Not a bad buy price in my opinion, considering how expensive actual packs are. Also, much lower chance to actually hit the Dark Charizard. So sometimes people will want to save a few $100 and just get a card with slightly less flaws. Here we have our first tag team lot. Take a look at that. Tag team Pikachu. We have a Secret Rare Machamp, Lucario, Dusknoir, Buzzwole. What else we got here? We have a few more. Got Garchomp Giratina, Togepi, Mewtwo. This is a really, really popular one. Very, very good card I always like to keep in stock. This is the type of Pokemon that literally the day it lands, it's out the same day. People are always buying the Mewtwo Mew. Latias. This one's actually kind of hard to find. The team-up variant. A lot of people ask to buy this one, but I have a hard time finding mint copies. Usually when I'm buying these modern cards, I try to buy like mint condition as the bare minimum. Sometimes I'll settle for near mint. It really just depends on the card. But yeah, we have a little bit of tag team. And then I think right here is our bulk. Let's see, we got a little sticker here. I'm going to cut that. I think these might be art rares. Bought a ton of art rares. I like to give these away to some of my big spenders, big supporters of the page, people who like supporting our small family business here, and then obviously have some for sale as well. So got a bunch. Let's go through them. Open this up here, show you guys what we're working with. Don't even remember exactly how many we bought, but I know we got a ton of them. Might be a few hundred. Let's see. I think this is actually also, yeah, character rares. So this is character rares plus art rares. A lot of nice ones. Some of these we might send out for grading. Others we'll send out individually. Usually in these bulk lots, this is actually the downside of buying bulk lots is like, look, 2 cards right here. Left one looks okay. A little scratched up. Look at this right one. Right one is just fully creased. You really hate to see that, especially on literally ultra modern cards. You know, people now in today's age in 2025, they realize that Pokemon cards have value, and usually they do a good job protecting it. So it always sucks to see. For vintage, I'm way more understanding. A lot of collectors, in my opinion, should also be more understanding that back in the day, a lot of these vintage cards that today are worth thousands and thousands of dollars, back then they weren't really worth anything. People were actually playing with the cards. Nobody was really, you know, focused on sleeving and top loading. The minute you opened a pack, you just kind of put it in your binder and you enjoyed the card as is. But yeah, first lot right here, I'm going to be honest, not as impressed as some of my buys in the past. This one's got a good spread, a lot of good cards like the Arcanine. That's a great character rare. A lot of duplicates, though. A lot of duplicates. Maybe we'll get a little bit more variety, but definitely a bummer to see some damaged ones. But you just got to take that into account when you're buying lots like this kind of. Because this, I'm going to be honest, this is kind of like a mystery lot. Like I agreed to buy, let's say, 300 of these modern art rares, character rares. But that doesn't mean that every single card is going to be mint. Let's see, next lot right here, I see we got some V-Star Universe. That's a nice set. One that has really jumped in price as of lately. Crown Zenith is the English variant for those who are more familiar. Got a little bit of Journey Together, Electrike, a little bit more V-Star. Overall, not a bad spread, but as you can see with these bulk lots, there's not that many heavy hitters. You know, you're probably not going to find a Pikachu in lots like this, but for me, when I'm buying these, I consider these more to be like freebies, little add-ons, things like that. It's still a lot of money just with the sheer amount of cards that we're buying here, but sometimes, like I say, you'll get better lots, sometimes you'll get worse lots, but that's just the name of the game. That's just how it is buying these cards overseas. It's not going to be... That's why I think a lot of English card collectors who only buy English cards, they think it's going to be the same when you're buying Japanese cards, but it's a totally different animal. It's a way different process. With English cards, especially buying them in America, you usually have marketplaces that will protect you. When you're buying from Japan, it's kind of like all sales final. You know, I can't go back now and complain that, oh, I received 20 duplicates of this card. At the end of the day, I agreed to buy, you know, 200-300 of these art rares, and then it's up to the seller to decide what I get. Skarmory, that's a good one. So, you know, every now and then you'll get some good ones, but then you'll get like four or five duplicates in a row. Here's another nice one. This one's from Triple Beat, Paldea Evolved. You got the Heracross art rare. That's a nice one. You know, you'll get some nice ones here. 151 Machoke, that's a great one. Sudowoodo, big fan of that. It's another 151 Caterpie. So overall, it's not bad, but I definitely am seeing duplicates. Here's another cool one. Look at that. Fanfy, very nice. Love this card. Look at that. Art rare, triple glizzy, and it's got hair. That is awesome. Bravery. This one's awesome as well. The Tauros. Not terrible, not terrible. I've had way better lots, but I've also had worse lots. So far, I would say it's probably to be expected. One thing, though, is that these types of cards have also doubled in price. These types of art rare, character rare cards have doubled in price compared to what I was buying them. So, yeah, everything is just trending up now. You know, I remember being able to get these cards for $3, $4 a piece, average. Now I'm paying a lot more than that. But I think the opportunity is still there to be buying them. There's no doubt in my mind. I think any of these cards, even though they're like pretty easy to hand, and in Japanese boxes you usually get guaranteed 3, like down the line, I could see any one of these types of illustration rare cards being at least like $10. Just due to the fact that we have a new era of Pokemon cards coming out. These technically are going to be out of print. The Pokemon company in Japan is usually pretty good with like reprinting. But over time, these are going to be similar to like tag team cards. And I think people are really going to go back, utilizing the full card to create an artwork. So I try to keep them stocked. Last time I bought close to 1,000, and we ended up selling all of them. And I haven't had them for a long, long time. So this is actually our first restock of like ultra modern cards. Look at that. Incandescent Arcana, Milotic. Beautiful card. This is a sick one. Slackoth art rare, really cool. So yeah, cards like this, happy to have them here in the store. Rotom. Got some new ones. I'm going to be honest. I have some that I've never even seen before. Like this Sandile. I don't think I've ever seen the Sandile. This has to be from this year. I usually have a pretty good grasp at like what cards come from what set. But this one, I'm not sure. Sorry, guys. The video got cut short because I actually ran out of out of storage here. We're back. I don't know if I showed this stack or not. But anyways, circling back. A lot of art rare cards. Just to end the video off here, we got a ton of bulk. Ultra modern. A lot of these are going to be in good condition. I'm going to have to take out some of the damaged ones like you guys saw earlier in the video. Probably send some off for grading, give a few others away, and then the rest sell off as singles. These cards did go up in price, but I still see a good buying opportunity. A lot of these cards, you're able to get around the price of a sealed pack. And, you know, when you're opening a pack of Japanese cards for, let's say, $5, $6, however it may be, you're not guaranteed to even get a hit on the standard sets. So being able to get these cards at that same price, to me, it's a no-brainer. We have about 100 left here. Let's see what else we have here, see if we can get any bangers. You know, when I'm buying lots like this, I'm probably not going to get more popular ones like a Squirtle or a Charmander. You'd have to buy those individually. But every now and then you'll get some cool ones. Like, look at that, Magmortar, Electivire. That's a sweet one. Crab Anomaly. Whole army of this guy. Wow. Roserade. A lot of character rares here I'm seeing from Battle Region and Dark Phantasma. Those were some sets released in 2022. Really like opening the boxes. Those, this is some VMAX Climax. This era was kind of known for just having a ton of these hits. Here we go. We got some Obsidian Flames, Ruler of the Black Flame. Little Scizor art rare. That's a sweet card. Happy to get those. Little Sunflora, Gardevoir. And then there's going to be some bulk cards like this, like the Rookidee or the Sandygast. You know, cards like this, few bucks, but then you'll get a banger like that. Majestic Articuno. And then you'll make more money on that one. Drillbur, that's an adorable card. Rockruff. Kangaskhan, this one is sick. I think this is Destined Rivals. Yeah, it's Glory of Team Rocket. I've got some Glory of Team Rocket in here as well. So it just depends. Overall, a good spread, I would say. I think for the time being, we're probably going to continue buying more vintage. Because I think for modern, there's still more time to stock up on these cards. I wouldn't really recommend to anybody to like rush buying into modern, because these cards are not going to go up as fast in price as some of the vintage cards, the more exclusives. So that's what I've primarily been buying. That's where most of my money has been going, you know, in these $10,000 mail days. A lot of these individual Pokemon cards, whether it be like a Shining Mew or some of the Charizards, like those could just run a few $100, whereas a whole stack like this might be a few hundred, and you're getting a lot more quantity. But over here, when we're buying these singles, we're getting them from Japan. I'm trying to target both quality, such as getting the nice vintage grails, but also quantity as well, because not everybody's in a position to spend $500 on one Pokemon card. Sometimes they'd prefer to just buy a ton more, flashy, fill in the binders, that sort of thing. Honorable mention right here, Nidoking 151, very sick. Wailord as well, Journey Together, proper banger. Wow, 3 of them. Holy smokes, that's sick. Look at that. I have to make that the thumbnail of the video. I don't know. That looks insane. Very cool. But yeah, you know, even if nobody wants to buy these cards, I know over time they're going to gain in popularity. So I'm kind of doing what I think is best. And if you're watching up until this point in the video, I recommend that as well. Whether you're trying to start your own business or whether you're just collecting, you know, don't look out for other people always to tell you what you to do. At the end of the day, it's also like what you think is best and what you think's undervalued. You know, there's a lot of videos on like the best things to be buying and things like that. And I definitely could share my opinion on it. But I'm just kind of documenting my journey, letting you guys know what I'm doing within my business and hoping that you guys could find some value as well. As we wrap up right here, we have a few more art rare cards. A lot of duplicates in this last batch. Wow. Got some nice ones. But yeah, more videos coming out, guys. We're going to be doing a ton of mail days. Ton of just talking about the business, what we're doing, what's selling, what's not. A little bit of a market talk, just all things to do with Pokemon TCG business. If you are interested in this type of content, feel free, guys, subscribe, check out some of our other videos. And yeah, really appreciate all the support up until this point. We actually just hit 100 subscribers. So thank you guys very much for that. And we will catch you guys on the next one.